So I don't know whether I'm actually live at all at present. Well, it's telling me on the screen at present is that I'm going live and there's a spinning wheel in front of me. Hello. Right, I'm live. This is just a test, just to see how this works because I've never done this at all before. I would talk about all sorts of things, but basically on this, I will sort of go along with what anybody wants to ask about anything I say here. Otherwise, I will speak about things that I know myself and the things that I know well, which are only a couple of things that I know really well, basically. I know lots of things in general for over a vast amount of topics, but only specialize in two things in particular. One being running, the second being veganism. I know lots about most of these things. I know running really well because I've yeah, now I'm being told my connection is unstable. Running, but I will continue anyway. Yeah, running. I've started up again. Running I have done for 30 plus years. About nearly 40 years of running. So I've done hundreds of events. Well, looking into the thousands of events more likely, because of when I was running regularly, I was taking part in events on almost a weekly basis, and sometimes an event each day of the week. Some weeks in summer. I've run everything from 100 meters to marathons. Many people have tried to encourage me to go beyond marathons, but I haven't. So I do know quite a lot about running on lots of things, but veganism is the thing that I do know most about at present. I know quite a lot of detail about it. I know how good it is. Yeah, well, like I say, I'm doing this as a tester just to see how this might work and sort of test my talking ability as well. Uh, I don't know how anybody will sort of look at this. Like I say, as a tester, I haven't worked out what I was going to be saying here at all. Anyway, I suppose one of the things I could talk about would be to be do with encouraging people to uh, stop consuming animals. Um, and one thing that's coming up in the next month is veganuary, and I would encourage anybody that may be thinking about not consuming animals any further to think about actually taking part in veganuary, as a free program like veganuary can be useful to learn to remove animal products from your diets by far quicker than if you were trying to do it by. Will have free advice at any time during the month for anything that you would like to know. So that would be very useful for is thinking about not consuming animals any further. The month breaking the habit. As with all foods, we have a habit of consuming generally the same types of foods and everything like that. So it's just a matter of getting used to alternatives to the animal products, and maybe consuming over this time, you with the constant use in trying to find the non-animal products, you win that automatically over the month. And usually by the end of the month, if you're really wanting to actually continue to not consume animals, you will, if to the places where you can find those non-animal products. That is basically how the veganuary was, how to make different recipes of foods or different things, and just the basics of all that, where to go and eat food like that. The one thing I would sort of try to consider is to think about the individual, because of if you consider that that on the basics alone, it is very much like ourselves. It wants to be free. If you can get that type of empathy and understanding for the animal, it will help by far better for you to be able to make the changes you need to make, because of the constant thought then is that you are avoiding picking up the individual that has been put there for you by ourselves, by humanity. So please do it if you can. I'm going to sort of leave this right here because of, and I'm just, like I say, I'm just testing this out to see how it might work. I would like to talk with people at some point or other, but for the moment, this is just a test just to see how this works, and I can see that it is quite good. I can see that I'll probably need to come on to it a few times to get the interest that might be needed to talk here. And it's very useful, very useful. Yeah, and I think I ought to have a few topics better planned to talk about when I'm on here as well. Um, the other thing would be, of course, if people make comments that I could see on the side here, then I could sort of respond to the comments as well, and that might be useful too. But yeah, probably having individual topics ready to talk about so that it gives time for other people to come along and maybe want to make comments about whatever I'm talking about, or anything else that they might want to bring up themselves. As I say, I know very much about veganism. I know plenty about it, and running itself. I know plenty about running. So anybody who wants to talk about anything in particular, and I know a vast array of things about many other topics as well. It's just that I'm spread over so many different things that I don't know specifics about lots of other things. But both veganism and running, I do know a heck of a lot of detail about. So I'll say that's all for now. I'll leave it at that, and it's useful just to have had this little chat just to see how this works. And I won't say a specific time that I will come back on to speak again, because of I just don't know. I haven't got a plan for that at the moment, so it'll be just whenever I happen to find a topic that I might want to talk about, just in a general way. I've got a few videos on my stream itself if anybody wants to look at them. Basically, there are lots of me just talking in general about things. I do make specific sort of things about them and whatever, but it's all of it's still learning. I'm still trying to work out how to go about doing this. I know that there are lots of different ways I could do this. I could sort of make it more. At the moment, it's just getting